This is Motherhood Unsaid. Real conversations about motherhood, spoken honestly.
Welcome back to Motherhood Unsaid. We've already talked about depression. We've already talked about anxiety. Today is about coping. Not healing perfectly, not having the answers, but what we actually do when it hits. The moment you knew you needed coping tools. I want to start here. When did you realize I can't just power through this anymore? I need something to help me cope.
Well, for me, it was when I was functioning, but not really living. I was taking care of the baby, the house, but inside it just felt heavy, and I realized I couldn't keep it up and pretend that everything was normal.
Was it more exhaustion or like sadness?
It was a combination of both. Like my body was there, like feeding my baby, taking care of him, but I wasn't fully in
Mine
it.
was definitely anxiety and the
And
intrusive
what about you,
thoughts.
Megan?
I couldn't relax even when everything was okay. My brain was scanning for what could go wrong and the worst situations. I realized that this wasn't being a good mom, it was anxiety running me.
Yeah, that's powerful. The difference
Yeah.
between protection and panic, that fight or flight mode. Um, let's walk into a moment when anxiety
Um,
spikes.
I
What does it
start
look
running
like for
around the
you?
house like a crazy person. My thoughts run to the worst situation possible. Um, and the worst case scenario, sometimes I don't even realize I'm holding my breath. I try to breathe, I try to distract myself, but sometimes that doesn't work. Yes. Um,
Mm-hmm. You
I
feel it like
start
physically.
like hyperventilating. I get all sweaty and I'm just in a panic mode running around the house trying to just find something else to think or do.
Yeah. And Bree, when depression feels heavy, what do you do? Or how do you
Um,
feel? How do you feel, I
well,
guess?
yeah, I just feel like, I can't, like, there's days I just don't even want to get out of bed. It's not just like always crying, which mostly it is, but it's also like you just have no energy, no excitement. Even though like you love your baby more than anything, there's just like so much disconnect there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that disconnect is hard to admit.
It is because you feel guilty for feeling that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all feel that at some point. All right, well, let's get practical. When you feel the spiral starting, what do you guys do? Yeah, so ground yourself, I think that's like important. I think we all have to like sometimes just take a moment and like go put our feet in the grass and get some sunlight on our face and go for a walk, do all the things that we need to do to just kind of like ground ourselves and we create our space that we need to be in, right? So, um, what helps when like when it's heavy, when it's all too much, like with the heaviness, Brie?
Um, so when I start spiraling and it gets too heavy, In the beginning, I just wanted to hurt myself. So, I had to like talk it out like through therapy sessions, and like what she suggested was to like, give the baby to your husband, um, go grab like ice, put it on your chest and like take deep breaths and like kind of calm down, like to center myself. And then, like go take a shower, like a quick body shower.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just trying to like stop my mind from like thinking all those things and like getting out of hand. So just like small things like that. And even like, yeah, walking and going outside can like just put your mind into like a different um like mindset about it.
Yeah, I like want to emphasize like the shower thing, like um getting in the shower, like letting that water hit your body, it does help like well for me at least, it helped me like kind of like just like okay, put some new clothes on, right? Get out of the shower, put some new clothes on, like let's do this, let's start again, let's wash all that away, like just I guess sometimes we have to shrink the goal instead of quitting the day, right? So, um how do you cope when you can't step away? Like when you're at work or your baby still needs you? I know Bree, you just went back to work for the first day last week. So how did you cope with that?
I didn't really cope like in the beginning. I was like one way I kind of like try to keep my mind from things is that like I'll dig my nails into my skin or like I'll start scratching myself really hard. So I did that in the beginning and I was like, okay, I can't keep doing that. Um and I just felt like anxiety the whole day and I just cried because I didn't even know like what else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then even like if I try to like do stuff on the computer and keep my mind off things, it would just like keep coming back to me. Like my mind wouldn't stop. Um, I think the only thing that kind of helped but didn't help was like just um, videoing my husband to see the baby, which made it even more
Mm-hmm.
sad. But at least it kind of kept my mind off like hurting myself.
Yeah, and I think that's okay too. Like I think it's okay to like not like be able to cope in like new situations, right? Like that's a super new situation for you. So like I feel like it's okay. Like you have to learn, right? Like it's trial and error. So like you're still gonna learn what helps you cope through that. And it was just day one. So um but like for you, Megan, like when the baby still needs you, um, how do you cope when you can't step away? Hmm. Yeah. And again, like it's super new for you guys too. So that's like I think that's super normal for, trying to figure out what ways we can cope and honestly just getting by. And I think you did a great job, like just trying to calm your nervous system, playing that soothing music and doing what you had to do in the moment. Like even if that's breastfeeding them both at the same time, it is what it is. It got you through that moment. It got them through that moment. Like I think that's a perfect coping mechanism. Just doing what we can to survive, right? Um, so, um, yeah, like that's definitely not failing. That's regulating, right? Regulating our nervous system, just coming back to. But let's talk about coping that did not work and what made it worse. I really quick before I ask you guys, I will be on the phone with my husband, and my son right now is at like a very talkative stage where if I'm talking, he wants to be talking, right? So I can't have conversations that are just like quiet, normal conversations without him like wanting to have a conversation too. And my husband, I'll be talking to him when he's on his way home from work, and he'll be like, just lock yourself in the bathroom, like go in the room and close the door. And I'm like, that does not work. Like that is going to stress me out way more, and that's going to stress him out way more. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't just go and like shut the door. Like I know a lot of people say that they can do that, but for me, like that is not a coping mechanism that works for me. Like having him screaming on the other side of the door just makes my nervous system go like through the roof. So that's definitely one thing that has not worked for me.
Yeah, same.
And um I don't know. I mean, I have a couple more, but I'll ask you guys like what made it worse for you guys?
I think the isolation, just staying quiet about it. I thought
Mm-hmm.
it would like protect everyone, but it just made it feel even lonelier.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it wasn't a good situation until I could like finally like admit it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's super important. Talking about what you're going through and just letting other people like tell you like it's okay to not be okay and that they're there for you. I think that's important. Yeah. Um mhm.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. Well, and we and also like with breastfeeding and stuff, I think we have this like mentality in our like we know that we're supposed to be feeding them, right? Like even if it's soothing them or whatever, like that's what we are supposed to do as mothers. So like I don't think men really understand that concept. Like even just like when they're crying and like us laying with them and they're like, you don't have to soothe them all the time. Like, yes, I do. Yes, I
Yeah,
do. Like this is what I'm supposed to do. And like I have to like because if I don't like I regret it, right? Like I feel bad about it, and like I don't want my son to feel that way either. Like I don't want him to feel lonely or whatever, so we just have to do what we have to do. But I think comparison to things online also don't help, and people giving us timelines like, oh, you shouldn't be breastfeeding anymore, or oh, you shouldn't be giving them a bottle at night, or oh, like all these things, and I think that causes our brains to be anxious and to like feel like we're not doing something right when in reality we're just trying to survive. Um, but if someone listening feels like they're barely holding it together today, what's one small thing that they can try that you guys think would help them out? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would say tell one safe person the truth. I know it's going to be hard to do, but I think after telling my husband, like, I used to have really bad nightmares. I occasionally do, sometimes do, but it was not as constant as like the beginning. And that kind of like went away after I told him. So I know that even though it's like hard, I think just telling like one person could kind of ease a little bit of like the anxiety and like the guilt that
Mm-hmm.
you've been going through.
Yeah. I think definitely being fed and hydrated is like super important, and like we can't do what we need to for our babies when we're hangry, right? So just get a snack, get some water, order takeout if you have to, drink those electrolytes, um, and I think stepping outside, getting some sun on your face, and just let your nervous system feel something different. So, water, air, all those things are super important for us. So I do want to mention coping doesn't mean you're weak. It means you chose to stay, you chose to show up, even if it wasn't pretty. And sometimes that's brave enough. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add today to today's episode about coping, or anything that like got you guys through during your hard times, or do you guys think you covered it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what I was doing for a long time. And
Yeah.
then I remember someone's like, "Oh, get a coloring book and like start coloring." So I did that for a minute, but it didn't really help.
But at least you tried something.
Yeah, they're
You
like,
tried
"Get your
something different.
mind off of it. Like, get your mind off of what's going on."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's super important. Just definitely not like staying in the same routine, trying whatever you can to try to get yourself out of that routine. I think making yourself a schedule, like just getting up and making breakfast, like even through the hard, just trying new things to try to get you through.
Yeah.
But
Um, oh, one more thing. But I think writing about it too helps. Like,
mm-hmm,
I'd just be like up in the middle of the night, can't go to sleep because of my mind. And I would just like write it down, or I'll write down, like, I would try to do like poems and songs, um, just to like write it on paper. So, like, it wouldn't be in my mind anymore.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's super important. And to mention, um, like about that, we do have a website now that you guys can go on, and there's a journal on there that's just for you. Nobody else will see it. So if you need a place to just kind of go write down your thoughts for the day, definitely check that out in our bio on Instagram. And there's a place where you can just put in how you're feeling for the day or what you're going through during the day, so that other moms can kind of connect with you, and you kind of feel like you're not alone in that situation. So definitely check that out if you're feeling kind of stuck in like this mundane of like just not knowing how to cope. Um, we have some good outlets on there. So we're not recording this healed, we're recording it managing. And if you're coping right now, not glowing, not thriving, just surviving, that still counts. And this is Motherhood Unsaid. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Bye.
Bye.